James Cameron continues to stir up interest in the next Avatar. There has been a ton of news about the franchise lately, including previews, new concept art, character interviews, and even the use of neural networks. Today we'll discuss all the most interesting things, because there's less than a year left until the film's release, and the first trailer is just around the corner. Get comfortable, because it's going to be interesting, as always. Let's start with the fact that James Cameron recently held a preview of the third part for a select few. The director didn't specify who exactly it was, but he made it clear that the lucky ones who had already managed to see the film called it the most emotional and the best in the trilogy. In addition to the emotional depth, those who watched it noted the scale of what was happening, especially the visual effects. Cameron also noted that the film will be darker and more intense compared to the previous parts. This is because the story moves to a new stage, where the heroes face more serious problems and moral dilemmas. Avatar 3 will be a turning point in the saga, introducing new cultures on Pandora and deepening the conflict between humans and the Na'vi. Reactions to the early version of the film were so positive that the director expressed confidence that the third part would be one of the most significant projects in his career. He also emphasized that working on the film was a real challenge, but he is proud that he was able to bring his ideas to the screen. A pretty big statement, but we expect nothing less. Still, Cameron is aiming for 5 parts, which means the middle should be discontinuous to maintain the audience's interest in the sequels. Not to mention the 6th and 7th Avatars, which are as far away as Pandora. Ordinary viewers will have to take Cameron's word for now and be patient, because Fire and Ash will only be released in December of this year. And judging by the latest news, the premiere may officially take place in domestic cinemas. But let's not make any predictions yet. Interestingly, a year ago Sigourney Weaver mentioned that an incredible plot twist awaits us. At that time, there was talk of a 4th film, but as we know, Cameron filmed scenes for all parts, up to the 5th, during the production of the 3rd. This means that some of the material could easily migrate to the Agony of Ashes to create more excitement around the franchise. But what kind of twist will it be? The most logical option is associated with the death of one of the central characters. In a recent interview, Zoe Saldana hinted that not all the characters will survive the 3rd part of Avatar. Shortly before this, Cameron shared information that the narrator would change for the first time in the new part. If the first 2 films were told from the perspective of Jake Sully, now his son Loke will tell the story instead of him. Zoe Saldana also said that Jake and Nitara will have to make some tough decisions in terms of their relationship, which means there's a good chance that their paths could diverge, at least for part of the plot. But does all this mean that the franchise's main character won't survive the 3rd film? Honestly, it's hard to believe. Cameron usually sticks to happy endings in his films, and Avatar isn't known for its intricate plot. The director also said that no neural networks were used in the creation of Fire and Ash. Although, it seemed why not, if there is a technical possibility. Moreover, the director is often called one of the pillars of work with graphics and digital technologies in cinema. To shoot the first part, he waited 15 years for the right moment. Only when motion capture technology reached a new level, thanks to Andy Serkis Gollum, Cameron decided that the time had come. Since then, Avatar has become a real discovery for many in terms of visual components and advanced CGI, and with each part, the director tries to come up with something new. In one of the interviews, he emphasized that if you don't surprise the audience with something new each time, then there is no point in taking on anything at all. Therefore, each time you have to break the mold. For the second part, they built a huge reservoir of water, in which they even imitated underwater currents. The actors trained themselves to hold their breath for a long time, up to 7 minutes. Considering that the 3rd part is called Fire and Ash, it's hard to imagine what Cameron came up with this time. The director refused to use any neural networks, so all the work with graphics is done the old-fashioned way. In addition, he has repeatedly noted that the new part will surprise us with bold decisions, some of which can be assessed by the first concept art. In one of them, we were first introduced to the village of Ash, where the new Na'vi tribe lives. According to the director, this is the most evil part of their civilization, whose lands were destroyed by a volcano. The landscape looks really gloomy and very different from everything we've seen on Pandora before. It is possible that the eruption could happen again, bringing with it destruction on a scale and that very plot twist that has been talked about so much. Seeing the explosion and spreading lava in Cameron's image will certainly be memorable and will look incredible. In addition, the director promised that viewers can expect incredible visual effects and technologies that will raise the bar for all cinema. Therefore, such a development of events fits all the known inside information. By the way, the character played by David Thewlis was also presented in the concept art. His hero's name is Palak, and he is a charismatic and kind leader of the new Navi clan. In addition, some other details were revealed. For example, it became known that they use airships resembling jellyfish-like creatures for transportation. Probably, this is the tribe of the fourth element, which has not yet been introduced. The costume artist for the third part, Deborah Scott, said that the new leader had an impeccable style. In addition, she noted that his people bring a sense of celebration, and each of their appearances can be compared to the arrival of a circus. From this, we can conclude that there will be several scenes with the new Navi, and they will play a significant role in the plot, which will focus not only on the Ash tribe. In general, the introduction of new Navi tribes is one of the key features of the third Avatar. Still, each species has its own unique culture and traditions, which will expand the universe of Pandora and show it from new sides. And here we are prepared for two tribes at once, which seem to be the opposite of each other. Cameron also previously mentioned that the film will explore themes of ecology, survival, and the balance between nature and technology, which have always been a big part of the franchise. But that's not all, because Stephen Lang, who plays Colonel Quaritch, recently confirmed that his work on all three films is now complete. His character, who died in the first part but was reborn as an avatar in the second, continues to be a key antagonist of the franchise. Lang expressed admiration for the way Cameron is developing Quaritch's story, adding new layers to his character's motivations. The actor shared that his character will develop in unexpected directions. The director confirmed this, noting that Quaritch will also play a key role in the third film. His story will be an important part of the overall narrative, but the plot line will be unpredictable. After the events that The Path of Water showed us, the Colonel becomes one of the most intriguing characters. His return opened up new possibilities for plot development, and in the third film, his story promises to be even more complex and multifaceted. Quaritch began a new stage in his life, trying to adapt to his new position. However, his past and desire for revenge continue to influence his actions. Fire and Ash will show how he balances between his humanity and new connections to the world of Navi. This creates an interesting conflict that can make his character more tragic. Speaking of the future of the franchise, which continues to attract Hollywood stars to its cast, there is a new addition looming. Since 2019, we know that Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh has joined the team. She will play a scientist named Dr. Karina Moak, who will not appear in the third film. Cameron confirmed that she will be the character will debut only in the fourth part and will be in the fifth. This was planned a long time ago, and the plot is planned out for years to come. But besides that, it looks like Anya Taylor-Joy may also join the franchise. The actress recently said that she dreams of playing any role in Avatar, even the smallest one. By the way, she has no problem with this, because she has already played a small role in a big franchise that we are talking, of course, about the second Dune, in which she appears on screen for exactly 5 seconds, and in several scenes, only her voice is heard. In addition, Sigourney Weaver has already mentioned that, in her opinion, Anya should join the franchise. Whatever one may say, the presence of Taylor-Joy in the cast gives a noticeable increase in the young audience. Even if Cameron doesn't make any major changes to the plot to fit in a new character, it's entirely possible to give her a cameo role, especially since the main filming of the fifth movie is still ahead and before the filming of the fourth. By the way, production of the fifth part is scheduled for 2026. Several insiders reported this at once. Even though the premiere will take place only in 2031, Cameron seems to have decided to play it safe. At the same time, the fourth film has already been filmed, and its release is scheduled for December 29th. In general, the director should be given credit for his approach to production. He decided to film 2 parts simultaneously to ensure the integrity of the story and minimize time costs. And for the fifth film, some scenes have already been filmed before the young actors have matured. This decision allowed the actors and the film crew to work in a single rhythm, without taking long breaks between projects. As you can see, the closer the release of Avatar is, the more news appears around the project. The first trailer is expected in late summer, early fall, so for now we can only be patient. Be sure to write your opinion in the comments, whether the franchise needs Anya Taylor-Joy, and what is the likelihood that the plot twist will be related to the death of Jake Sully. Well, that's all for today, friends. See you in new videos very soon.